Hey everybody, so we're gonna give you a little tour of our farm. We want to show you some baby chicks, some baby lambs, and one of our favorite fruit trees right now, which is a mulberry tree. Is there anything else we should show them, guys?
The peach tree?
We're gonna show you a peach tree. Yeah. Okay. So, oh, and we can show you the chickens that lay eggs and our geese that are really loud.
And annoying and mean.
Yeah. But first, we're gonna go into the barn. So, these chicks are chicks that are called broilers. And what does that mean, guys?
It means that they aren't supposed. Well, they lay eggs, but you don't take their eggs. You use them for meat instead.
So these are chicken nugget chickens.
Oh wow. Harsh.
They're still really cute, but and we give them a really good life. But so they stay in the barn for a little bit until they get bigger, and then we actually put them out in the field and let them eat grass and bugs and do what chickens want to do until it's time for them to move on. So let's show you the barn. Lead the way. So this is the little chick lounge. They come in here and they have a nice warm heat lamp and they get to crawl around and be warm. And then over here, they have this side. And that's, what's that in there, guys?
Or water.
It's the water.
This white part, it screws off. You fill that with water, then screw this red part back on and flip it over. And all the water that's in here will come out a hole in the side.
But you have to turn it really
Right
fast
here.
or else it'll just all leak out.
There's a hole right here, and the water comes out of this white thing into there. And when the water gets low, more water will come out of here into the red part.
And then they can just drink out of that little circle there. It's all full of water around there. And then over here
There's their food.
is their food. So they have these little holes that the food they can peck through with their heads and get the food. And we just fill that up when it gets low. And you can see they're all just kind of hanging out right there. But you want to get one out, Eliza, and show it to us? So, do you guys know what kind of chicken this is?
Meat chicken.
So this is a Cornish cross, which is a chicken that was made just for being a meat chicken. So there's all kinds. There's Delaware chickens and what are some other ones? Freedom Rangers. But this one is Cornish cross. So yeah, they're white chickens when they get bigger. And okay. All right, look. Here's a baby chick that just hatched. All of these we just took out of the incubator and they're going to start hatching more. You can see some holes in some of the other ones. This little guy, we got to put the lid back on so we can make it warm. But just wanted to show you. One just came out of the eggs.
Oh, hey, welcome to the garden. Come this way. Let me show you around. So, right here what we have is a little bit of a mess, but you have to think in the future when you're gardening. And so what we're working on in this little area is we are working on a butterfly/pollinator garden, which is something fun for everyone to do. Our pollinators are what make it possible for us to eat food. And they're usually really fun to watch, like butterflies, hummingbirds, bumblebees, and regular bees. We love our pollinators. And so these are going to be flowers, and it'll take a while to fill in, but we're working on it. The girls especially are working hard on that. Now, moving along, we have some really fun things here that are mainly just for show, but again, for the pollinators. Only there's one special thing. If any of you are familiar with the movie Sound of Music, this is my favorite garden feature. It's Edelweiss. You maybe have heard the song about Edelweiss. My husband and I, we went to Austria, and while I was there, I got seeds, and it worked, and they grew, and they're beautiful, and they come back every year. And it's one of my favorite flowers, and they're in full bloom right now. Now, coming along, we have some hidden treasures sort of willy-nilly in our garden. What I love to show people is how easy it is to grow things, even when you don't have a lot of space for gardening. So we put things in pots all over the place. These are peas. They're just growing. We don't have any peas on there yet, but we will soon. And now they can climb up this trellis. So we like to climb things up trellises. If you have a wall where you can climb things, that can be a really fun thing to do. Beans and peas and all kinds of things will climb. We also have some other raised beds in here. They're still getting started. We've got onions. Have you ever seen an onion? This is what it looks like. This is an onion flower. So under the ground there are onions, and up here is this beautiful flower. And if this goes to seed, we can grow onions from some of these tiny little seeds on here. Is that cool or what? I love those. They're so funny looking. They remind me of Dr. Seuss. In here we have some carrots in this big pot back here. And then these are tomatoes. So tomatoes need a big pot just for themselves because they'll get bigger and bigger as the summer goes and it gets hotter. And look, here's another pea. Look, here's a pea flower on here. And so that will turn into a pea that you can just eat right off the vine. And they're so sweet and delicious. And I wanted to climb up there, but it's not working. So one of the best parts about gardening is you get to try, and some things work and some things don't work, and you just have to be willing to experiment. Right here, we just filled this trellis this year, and that will be for our beans that we've got planted on either side. And through the summer, they should grow up tall and maybe even come over our heads, which is really fun. Right here, we've got a sunflower, and this is a different kind of flower. And we plant these flowers in with our tomato plants and our other vegetable plants because it attracts things that eat bad guys that will destroy our other plants and maybe eat our tomatoes or kill the tomato plant. So we put in these flowers because they bring in things that will eat the bad guys. So we really like to do that. We're almost out of lettuce season, but this is some really pretty lettuce right here. In here, this is just herbs. So it looks a little messy right now, but as it fills in through the rest of the summer, it's going to be really fun. This is bee balm, and it makes a really pretty flower just for the bees. Down here is oregano. So this has been in here for a couple of years. It smells really delicious. You probably have oregano in your kitchen. So go smell your oregano, and you'll know what I'm smelling. But oregano is a really good thing for spaghetti sauce and all kinds of cooking in the kitchen, and it's also good for your health. So it's good for digestion, and it's good for all kinds of things. So grow some oregano or use the oregano regularly. And then we just started to see this tiny little guy. It should fill out through the summer. That's tarragon. And then we have some medicinal herbs like yarrow, which is this pretty flower. It comes back year after year. There's lavender up there. There's plenty of weeds too, but as our herbs grow, they'll take over, and hopefully the weeds won't be as prolific. Okay, one more thing, well, a couple more things. Let's see, this is our garden tower. I love this guy because it grows a ton of plants and takes up very little room. And look, it does this cool thing. It spins, so we can let one side get more sun and water and kind of just keep rotating it around. We've got strawberries in here, and we've got lettuce in here, and we've got sunflower and tomatoes, and some herbs like parsley and peppers and all kinds of things. These are peppers right here. And it's been so cold, they're not very big yet, but they're getting bigger and bigger. Here's a tomato that's pretty big right here. Strawberries. Got basil in here, so very, very fun way to grow if you don't have a lot of land or area to have a garden. There's more tomatoes down here and flowers. And then a ton of tomatoes down here. We really like tomatoes. When it comes to be July and August, we'll pick all these tomatoes and we'll make tomato sauce, and we'll make lots of salsa and things that we can put in cans and save for when it's wintertime and we don't have fresh fruits and vegetables anymore. And then if you look down the hill, we have things like blackberries and blueberries and grapes. And those things we don't plant every year. We just tend to them and take care of them every year. And they just keep coming back and coming back. So those are really fun things to have in the ground and just have every year. And they take a little less work once they're done or in the ground and working. Now over here, this is a row of potatoes. And I don't see any potato leaves yet. So we just put these in the ground last week. I think I see one out there in the middle. But hopefully these will start to come up. We'll see the leaves growing, and that'll mean we'll have, when we uncover all of this area and dig it up, we'll have a bunch of potatoes that we can eat. Over here, this is a fun thing. This is called comfrey, and this is a medicinal herb, but it's also a really good thing to have in your garden because it likes to support other vegetables and stuff. It makes them healthier and stronger. So we've got the comfrey. It's blooming. It's so beautiful. Right here, we're growing garlic. And you can see on this area, we've got some hay down, and under that we have what we call weed cloth, and that helps to maintain so we don't have to pull as many weeds in this area. And then something really exciting, if you follow me down here, this is brand new. We haven't even planted yet, but my husband dug this trench, and this trench will fill with water, and we're gonna plant rice in there. Now, I have never seen rice grow in person, so that's gonna be a fun adventure. And that's our favorite part about gardening, is that we get to try all these new things all the time and see what we like, see what we don't like. Maybe we won't do this next year, I don't know, but we get to play and have fun. So I wanted to show you a tool that we use a lot. This is called a hoe, and you've probably heard of a hoe, but this is a very useful tool, and it helps us dig up the ground real easy and pull it back just like that. And that's what Drew used to dig out this trench. And it's a really good tool for gardening. Now we're gonna go over and we're gonna check out the mulberries, because they're right now in season, and mulberries are really fun. And if you go around town in downtown Greensboro, you will probably find mulberries everywhere. They'll pop up in a lot of different places, sometimes in parking lots. If you've ever been to the Curb Market in downtown Greensboro on Yanceyville Street, there's mulberries growing over the creek that runs past that. But right now you can see there's a ton of red berries. Now there would be black ones, or purple ones I should say, but the birds are eating them all. There might be some on the ground, let's see. Yeah. So here's some on the ground. When the wind blows, it blows them off when they're really ripe. This is a tiny little one and he's a little shriveled up, but they're very delicious when they're perfectly black or purple. The red ones are a little tart. But you should go find some mulberries and try them if you haven't before. That's a trip around our crazy garden. I hope you had fun and come back to see us.
Hey everybody, okay, so now we're gonna look at our layer chickens. Layer chickens are the ones that lay eggs, laying, right? So we have a mobile coop back here, and we'll show you that, where about once a week we give them fresh grass. Yeah, there's the mobile coop. It's nothing fancy. Chickens don't need fancy. They just need something to keep the rain off of them. So at night they go in there and they roost, and then during the day they come out and they go all around the grass. All right, so this is the coop, and we keep them in this white fence because this white fence keeps predators out. It's an electric fence. And then the chickens live inside of here. And if we come over here, you can see they have these poles. These poles are called roosting poles. And that's what they get up on at night to go to sleep on. And they all sit on those. And then during the day, they just come out here and they do chicken things. They look for bugs and grass and all that and eat all those things. Oh, this is fun. Look. Okay, so this is, can you move that board? This is a chicken in the nesting box.
She's not happy about us being here.
And she's laying an egg. And you can see there's one egg underneath her. That's an egg somebody else laid. But now she'll lay an egg there too. Chickens like to lay eggs where other people lay eggs. And you can see there's another chicken in there. She's looking to see what's going on. And then here's something fun. These are our geese. That's Roger and Ryan.
As you can tell, they're really annoying and loud.
So they're really loud, but they do a job. They're out here to protect the chickens. No kind of predator, for the most part, wants to mess with geese, including us. They're kind of mean. As long as you don't turn your back on them, they're okay. But they keep the chickens safe, and they let anybody in the area know if there's a predator in the sky or trying to sneak up through the grass. So we just keep them in there as a protection. And look, Via has the egg. That's right out of the chicken coop, fresh out of the chicken. Huh?
Yes.
All right, guys, that's our egg layers.
Hey kids, so we are here in the field with our sheep and our dogs. So we have 2 guardian dogs. You'll see them walking around. They like to be petted a lot, and they're giants. They're big dogs. Right here we have a mama who has a baby sheep that isn't nursing very well from her, and so we brought a bottle to feed him. We've been feeding him every day since he was born. He's hiding over there a little bit. Maybe he'll come over in a minute. But our sheep, we move around constantly. We want to try to make it seem like they're out in the wild. And out in the wild, they would just keep grazing and moving on and on and on. And so we move our fence every day to get the sheep to move into new grass. You can see some hay on the ground. When it's winter time, we feed them only the hay. All right, so this is Kenny with Levia. This is Levia. She's holding Kenny. Put him down on the ground, and then she's gonna give him this bottle. How old is Kenny, do you know?
Like 2.5 weeks.
I think he's more like a month now. Can't remember. Do you remember when he was born?
down.
About a month.
Yeah, I'm good. You only
The reason we have sheep is because we shear them. These are wool sheep, which means that we can take their wool and use it for knitting and yarn and all the different things you use wool for. And they also can be good meat sheep, which means that we will eat them. So if you like to eat meat, then it's good to know where your meat comes from, and it comes from an animal. So this makes lamb meat, as we call it, lamb, and it makes really delicious ground meat and steaks and things like that. If you've ever had lamb, it's one of the better tasting meats in my opinion. These are all girls and their babies. So we don't generally eat the girls, we eat boys because we only need one boy to be the dad of all the sheepies. Right now we have 3 boys, they're babies though. No, we have 4 boys. It's twins, and then
Nick.
Oh, this guy is Nick. He's our big boy. He'll probably be the dada in the future for us. And then Kenny, who Levi is still feeding. Those will all be dadas.
So we have sheep, and this is rutabaga and turnip, and
They're the guardian dogs.
yeah,
And what do they do? What's their job?
they guard us or sheep from people and coyotes and cars. Sniffing me.
Well, we're missing one of the rarest varieties of animal on our farm. Our oldest, our teenager. She's actually at Hebrew High right now. So she's not out here with us. But this is us, the Grimm family at Schoolhouse Farm. You've seen just about everything. We hope someday you'll come out and visit.
All right, bye, everybody.